By the way, speaking of amazing concerts, we should talk about. So, obviously, for the past, I don't know, almost a year and a half, we don't do politics on the show anymore. But we might have another subject we can discuss that is not political, but will still make some people angry, which is fun. Very divisive issue. Is
surprisingly
the Super Bowl halftime show.
I feel like one of the very few people that was like, why are you guys upset? Like,
I know. Well, my post on social media that night, I said, I'm trying to remember verbatim what I wrote. I said, are Jenny and I the only white people our age who actually enjoyed Kendrick Lamar's halftime performance? Because from what I'm seeing on social media, a lot of you would have preferred they wheeled out Grand Funk Railroad or something. And
I don't get that. I really don't get. We were sitting there watching it, and one of my first reactions was I loved the dancers.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's awesome. They're not a bunch of scantily clad women. Like, they got some. I loved the dancers. I loved the way they were dressed. I loved the American theme. I loved the just the whole sequence of the way they were dancing and how they were floating across the stage. And I thought it was I really loved it. I enjoyed it.
Samuel L. Jackson as Uncle Sam.
Seriously, perfect, right?
Which I'm sure bothered some people.
Why?
We know why.
Sam,
but I thought it was cool.
Sam, why not?
But I thought it was pretty cool. No,
I loved it. And I loved how he called out the world too. Don't be too ghetto.
And by the way,
too loud.
And by the way, I do want to clear up one thing though. I didn't mean any in my post. I didn't mean any disrespect to Grand Funk Railroad. I hope no one takes that wrong. I mean, look, they're an American band. They're coming to your town. They'll help you party down. They're an American band. So no disrespect. I just no, but actually, so it turns out though, there are quite a few. Just looking at the responses to my post, there are quite a few white people our age and older who did in fact enjoy Kendrick Lamar's performance, but a lot of people didn't. Some people just don't like hip hop, which is fine. It's okay to not like hip hop, but some people got really carried away when some people go so over the top with their criticism and that they're like, oh, it was a political statement, and which by the way, it was not. It's certainly not overtly, in my opinion.
No,
you can read into it whatever you want to, but I mean, really,
maybe a little bit. I think people missed the punchline in part with Serena Williams.
Yeah,
it's not just that she's an ex of Drake.
Yeah.
Her doing a crib walk was a big deal because when she was at Wembley, when she won gold, she did that and was absolutely poo-pooed on across. People were mad. Everybody was upset. How dare she do that kind of dance?
Oh, yeah.
When they do it in the end zone in football, it's fine. But, she did a happy dance for winning, and they were just all over her. So I think her doing that was more than just I'm Drake's ex. It was taking back her power as a woman, as doing what she did, saying, yeah, I earned every bit of the respect that I should have. She did.
Yeah.
She's an amazing athlete.
Oh, absolutely. I don't know if it is okay to do that in the end zone in football. Can you?
Dance?
Isn't that against the rules?
I thought they had dancing.
I don't know.
Touchdown. Little
I think
jiggy,
that's against somebody in the chat room can tell us. I might be wrong.
I thought they were allowed to do like the victory dance when they score a touchdown.
I think that's considered showboating or something. I don't think you're supposed to do that for sportsmanship. I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong.
I think football was kind of the birthplace of doing the touchdown dance.
Jenny and I are not fans of sports ball, so we could be wrong about these things. Just to clarify for people, we didn't. It's not like we actually sat and watched the Super Bowl. We would not.
I only watched the
halftime show. We just went back and watched the halftime show later. And yeah,
I'm not a football-y
person. We really enjoyed it. A lot of people just don't. If you don't like hip hop, then you're not going to like it, and that's fine. You're allowed not to like hip hop.
And I like hip hop.
Yeah, I do too.
I like almost all genres of music. The one genre I'm not a particular fan of, I'm not going to say. Because I respect all the artists and everything that come in here, and really it's different when it's live. Let me just say, but huge difference. But I loved the sequencing. I like how they blended into each song.
Well, and it all built to something.
It built to something.
Which we'll talk about in a second. But Nathan Hill, who's in the chat room, who's a very talented musician, who's going to be coming on the show soon. Really looking forward to that. Nathan Hill says only a little dance and can't be a whole group taunting type thing. Okay, so as long as it's relatively restrained, just a little dance.
They're allowed to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Can't be taunting. That makes sense.
I was never sure.
But yeah, like that's the invention of the birthplace of the happy dance. I scored a touchdown. That's football is the birthplace of it. But I mean, she was happy in the moment. She had won like the greatest achievement possible in her industry, in her chosen field, and she got really attacked over it. So to have her come on the Super Bowl and take back her power and do that dance and say, I'm proud of everything I've accomplished. I think it's more than just she's Drake's ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I think the people that are like, oh, she's Drake. I mean, sure, I'm sure that played a little bit of a role because good for her, man.
Yeah.
He was so rotten to her. She deserved every moment of that too. But I don't want to cheapen the fact that we're talking about an Olympian here who earned every right to do her touchdown dance.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's my opinion. I don't understand why everybody's so angry. I don't get the anger of it. I thought it was cool that there was so much. I mean, it was patriotic as heck.
Yeah.
You got the American flag built out with the dancers, but they feel why isn't that? I thought I was pretty patriotic. I thought that was pretty cool.
Like I said, some people just don't like hip hop, but some people just like I said, some people just go way over the top with it, and they see this overt political statement. They see it a threat as a threat to them, and
if it's making you feel uncomfortable, maybe you need to look yourself in the mirror.
They'd clearly prefer Kid Rock or something. And I will say this though, I do want to defend like people who didn't like it just because they don't like hip hop, or just because they didn't like the mix and they felt like they couldn't hear him clearly enough or whatever. That's all valid. I do want to defend those people a little bit because the other thing that happens, unfortunately, is everybody gets ramped up on both sides, and so then you have the people who that just isn't their thing getting attacked, automatically being labeled as racist because they didn't like it, and that's not cool either. You're allowed not to like it. You're allowed not to like that kind of music. You're allowed not to like that kind of performance. That doesn't make you racist.
Of course not.
Which is not to say that some of what I saw online, people angry about it who did go way over the top. Yeah, there's clearly something more,
Y'all need to look in a mirror.
Yeah. So some of the
oh my.
Excuse me, I'm getting worked up. So some of those people, especially the people who believe that it was like some sort of really overt, aggressive political statement. Yeah, those people, I think there's something going on there. But I don't want to paint everybody that way. Some people just don't like. Look, if you don't like rap music, you're not going to like that, and you're allowed not to like that. I liked it, and you liked it, and
when they did it before, and it was like Eminem up there, I didn't hear so much. I feel like I didn't hear as much complaining about it. I don't know what he's saying.
Well, yes, that.
So
although
that's where my head's like, yeah, y'all got a different reason for not liking it.
Although interestingly, Eminem, though, I will point out, he does his style and his flow, he does enunciate, although sometimes it's hard to tell what he's saying because he's so fast. Exactly. He can go very fast, but he does enunciate his words clearly.
So does Lamar.
Yeah, but not as much as
clear.
Eminem is very precise.
That's true.
We could have a whole other conversation about that. But yeah, so I enjoy, who else?
Oh boy. Don't die on me now. We got to go grocery shopping later. I need my sushi.
I am struggling. Let me take another gulp of water here.
Like I crave it on Saturdays. I have to have my sushi.
You know who else really enjoyed it? Because he said on Facebook, and he texted me about it too, is my dad. And it's funny because people who don't know my dad, or people who only know my dad online from his political posts and stuff, might be surprised. But I actually was not surprised. My dad liked it a lot.
And your dad's military. Like he's a veteran.
But the thing about my dad is he's always liked hip hop. I remember when they did the
That's true. I remember you talking about that.
a few years ago when they had who was it? They had Dr. Dre and 50 Cent and
wasn't that
legends
the one
in
that
hip hop.
Eminem? That's the one. That's the one
yeah.
I'm talking about. I didn't hear complaints after that show.
No. Some people did, but although not to this extent. But I remember my dad texting me about that, saying how much he liked seeing Dr. Dre there and everything. So my dad's always liked hip hop, but my dad's always been someone too who really enjoys hearing new music. So, how growing up, a lot of people, they have that generational thing with their parents where, their parents only like old stuff,
right?
From their youth and they don't understand.
Right.
My dad was never like that. My dad, even now at his age, he lives on the seacoast and he loves listening to WUNH, the great college station there, because he loves hearing new music.
Great place to hear independent artists, by the way, guys.
Absolutely. Not just rock, but hip hop too. He likes hip hop. So
tune into the college stations. You will be amazed at some of the artists you can hear.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. But yeah, I remember you talking about your dad always like being interested in new music and bringing that into the house, which is awesome. Like you got to kind of grow up well-rounded musically.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a particular genre that was like, you're going to listen to this.
Yeah, exactly.
I grew up with like the top 100, Casey Kasem was on in our house, the top 100 rock and roll hits of the day or whatever it was. I remember my grandmother winning a Rolling Stones album off of WBZ.
Yeah.
She used to love those little contests.
So the other thing that I love, and you seem to be very into it as well, is the a good old hip hop beef.
Yes.
When people are beefing. Now the only time I'm always fascinated by that kind of thing. Always have been. As long as it doesn't end in violence, that's bad.
Right. Yeah,
because
non-violent, please.
Of course, in the 90s we lost Tupac and Biggie.
I am a non-violent activist.
Because of that. Not that I think. I feel like.
No.
I am struggling. I feel like we're past that. I feel like we're past all that though, in the sense that, nobody's in danger. Like neither Kendrick Lamar nor Drake are in any danger from any of this.
I hope not.
At least I don't think so.
Like this is all a verbal thing or what have you. But I'll tell you what, I keep ending up on rabbit holes of watching other people reacting.
Yeah.
To when he finally, because the buildup is crazy. He keeps giving little teasers about the song, and it's like, is he going to play it? Is he going to play it? You watch some of these reaction videos, and you'll see people like he'll do a tease, and people are like, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. I want him to do it, and then suddenly he starts it.
Yeah,
and people just go crazy.
Yeah, that was a great moment.
And then you can see people like holding their breath when he gets right to the part. He's about to do it, and he just that guy has got the killer grin.
Oh, I know.
I love
the way he grins when he looks into the camera and says, "Say Drake."
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was really good.
That kills me. He has got the best grin. He does that grin more than once.
Yeah.
He's got this side eye grin that's just freaking awesome. He's right into the camera.
Yeah.
Say Drake. I hear you like I'm young. Yeah. And he just goes on. And, and oh my God. And the whole Super Bowl, all these people, A minor.
At the end of the song,
humongous chorus.
Yeah.
That lawsuit, he just might as well drop it. I mean, come on. What are you going to do?
Yeah, for those who don't know about that part, so this particular hip-hop beef has escalated, though, legally, because Drake is suing
the label.
He's suing the label.
And Kendrick.
And I think they're both on UMG. So Drake is, like Limp Bizkit is suing Universal Music Group. So is Drake, but he's suing over the Kendrick Lamar song because he's actually claiming definition of character, which is kind of like, that's like the ultimate B move, right? And by B, I mean, I can't say it here, but you know what I'm saying, right?
You're a public person.
Actually file a lawsuit over a diss track. Like, who does that? Has anyone else ever done that? Usually you just respond with another diss track and you keep going. As this thing between them has gone on for a decade.
Yes. However, devil's advocate here.
Yeah.
He does literally accuse him of being a pedophile.
Well, yes. Yeah.
So that might cross that line just a little bit further than a general diss track.
Right.
Although, I mean, at this point, it's run how many Grammys? How many awards has this song won?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, the guy's even got a friggin', what is it? He's got something crazy. Is it not a Peace Prize? Or is it Pulitzer?
Oh, a Pulitzer? Does he? Yeah. Well,
he got something that was like never been done before in rap for this song. He has won so many awards for this song. It's crazy.
Well, not only that, but this just happened. The BBC is reporting Kendrick Lamar earns first UK #1 with Not Like Us.
Oh my God.
So it's his first #1 in the UK. Yeah.
And people are doing like TikTok dances and stuff. And they're doing like Serena's dance.
Yep.
It's just crazy to watch the videos. Absolutely crazy to watch the videos.
And I've been a Kendrick.
I wonder if that family that you guys played last night did it. The mother and son. The mother and son cover.
Oh, from I don't remember what they're called. Yeah, from Retro Spectrum Radio.
Yeah, Miriam was looking them up, and it was really interesting to see them mix their old and new style. I wonder if they've done that song.
But
there's a lot of people doing it now.
I've been a Kendrick Lamar fan for a long time.
Yeah, I like him.
The only, because I remember when we used to be on weekday afternoons during Black History Month, I would play some of his tracks, which it is right now, February. But I've as far as Drake, and I have nothing against Drake, but I don't dislike Drake. But the only track by Drake I can think of that I really like, it came out like maybe 5-6 years ago. Nice for What. I played that on the show once too. I don't remember why.
Overplayed.
It's
for me, that song's been played so
much. It's so catchy though. Very, very catchy. Great hook.
I got you. Yeah, no, I've never been a Drake fan all that much myself, and never really followed Kendrick all that much. But I love this song.
Yeah.
Actually, I loved the entire medley. Everything that they did was really great.
Yeah.
I liked the slow down part and having her come out, and I really felt like everything they did was very well done, very tight, excellent performance, and see any issues. And boy, can we just say the Super Bowl show has had so many issues over the years. But I think they're now saying like this is the most watched one. He's beat everybody.
Yeah,
on the most watched Super Bowl performance.
Yeah,
in history. Oh, the viewership is insane, absolutely insane. But if you really want to laugh, you got to watch some of these reaction videos of people watching it. Snoop Dogg did one. There's a reaction video of Snoop Dogg watching it live. Oh yeah, well they're from the same area. They're supporting each other.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah. No, so I'm
still not bored with it.
It'll be interesting now to see if
what happens with the lawsuit, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm also curious too, like what happens with this beef, because it seems like this is like to put it in wrestling terms, this was the WrestleMania main event between them. You know what I mean? Like this was because I don't see how
Drake recovers.
I don't see how Drake recovers. Yeah, to me, this was the final nail in the coffin.
I agree. You know? I mean, I don't see how he could possibly top this.
Yeah, I don't know if there's another example that I'm not thinking of somebody performing,
especially
a diss track at the Super Bowl halftime show,
and have it go so viral.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's the most viewed ever.
I don't know how you top that.
Still going crazy around the world. Won a bunch of different. He's won a bunch of awards for it.
Yeah,
huge amount of awards for it.
Yeah,
and there's just no recovering from this. I'm sorry, Bubala.
Yeah,
just put it to bed, leave it alone, move on. That's what Drake should do. Just let it go, move on. Nothing good can come from him keeping it in the light and suing him. All he's going to do is keep the attention on. He's better off letting it go and walking away, cutting his losses.
Well, but can he do that, or does that look even worse if he walks away now? I mean, now he's in a no-win situation. I mean, he looks like a B for filing the lawsuit, but won't he also look like a B for if he just drops it and walks away? Won't that look like he's conceding, like he's just surrendering?
Maybe he should, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sometimes you gotta cut your losses and accept your loss and move on.
Yeah, I don't know what else. I don't know what else he can do. You know, unless he finds a way to make peace with Kendrick, but
I don't know. That's not going to happen.
Kendrick's the one.
No way that's going to happen now.
Yeah,
not after the Super
Bowl. I don't know. I mean,
and then SNL picked up on it.
Yeah,
they left out Drake's name, but they left in all the other words.
You know, it can happen though. I mean, people didn't think that Jay-Z and Nas would ever. I mean, that got pretty vicious with the diss tracks back and forth.
Well, it's a level vicious.
What's that?
not this level.
Well, not like
dudes walking around with statues because of it.
I don't think anyone performed Ether at the Super Bowl.
But it's somebody that's got awards on your
wall. No, I know.
Calling you a pedophile.
I know. Yeah, there's really no reason for them to make peace, I guess.
I don't see it happening.
But,
I don't see it happening.
Oh, hello to Tom Siracusa, of course. Siracusa. Sorry, Tom. I'm never sure how to say your last name. From Day to Attend. Who, by the way, their name came up again last week on the show when Ricky Mapleton was here, and he mentioned he was at that show at the Aura in Portland, seeing Day to Attend open for Ace Frehley, and had wonderful things to say about Day to Attend. However, Ricky Mapleton did not have wonderful things to say about Ace Frehley necessarily, because apparently Ace took his sweet time getting to the stage. But
oh yeah, didn't they say it was it 3 hours?
It
was hours.
It was like midnight by the time Ace hit the stage. But yeah, Tom says good money in rivalries. Yeah, well, that's true. That's the thing though about any kind of beef, whether it's in hip hop or whether it's podcasters and radio hosts beefing with each other. It does it does get a lot of attention and publicity. It does generate interest. If you kind of pull back and think of it this way, would either Kendrick Lamar or Drake be let me put it this way, take the beef out of it. We wouldn't probably be having, would Kendrick Lamar even have had the opportunity to perform at the Super Bowl? Because
not necessarily, because I don't know. I don't know. Not that he wasn't popular, but this particular song has really changed his world.
Yeah. But but in a broader context,
But he's hit Drake before in other songs.
Oh yeah. They both have back and forth quite a bit. Yeah.
Wasn't there a period of time when they were almost doing it daily? Like they were coming out with songs back to back against each other?
Yeah, this isn't recent. This has been going on for a decade.
Festering. Then they peel off the scab and do it all over again.
But there is good, it, and the thing is too, if you play it right, everyone kind of benefits, in the sense that everyone involved benefits from the interest that is generated from it.
People are looking Drake up too, so he's got to be getting some benefit out of it in that way.
Right. In
that way.
And people who like Drake better, especially probably in Canada, because Drake is Canadian. I'm sure there's a lot of Canadians who are mad at Kendrick.
I didn't realize he was Canadian.
Yeah, he lives in Toronto.
So does it become a Canadian-American thing? Because that's going on.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe, I don't know.
By the way, Tom in the chat room from Day to Attend says, remember the early 2000s Super Bowl? Aerosmith, Britney, NSYNC, Mary J. Blige. No, best halftime
Janet
shows
Jackson.
ever. No drama. Well, Janet Jackson, there was drama.
Lots of drama.
Oh.
And they really went after her, and it wasn't her fault.
I'm still not. There were so many different explanations about what was really going on
he
there.
He got treated like
and what
fine,
was planned.
and she got poo-pooed all over, and he's the one that ripped it off of her. So,
but that one moment though had, Lewis Black had the best take on it when he said, we love Lewis Black, the comedian, when he said he watched. Well, I have to edit how I say it, but he just it's funny when it's not going to be funny when I say it. I don't have his delivery, but when he said, he talks about watching his country lose its collective mind over the Janet Jackson incident at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look at the world today.
But that had all of a sudden, who that had a surprising effect on was the radio industry, even though it had nothing to do with radio, because all of a sudden, so that happens. People are losing their minds, as Lewis Black put it, and people were losing their minds.
As if she literally stood on the stage and stripped naked. Well,
and then there's these questions about, is the FCC going to fine whoever was carrying the Super Bowl and all that and all this stuff, and but all of a sudden things got much more uptight at radio.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. They were taking it out on her as if she had, jumped on the stage and intentionally stripped herself. She was mortified, horrified.
But all of a sudden, the backlash from that, though, it splashed onto radio shows like Howard and Opie and Anthony, and all of a sudden, they're all being told, whether it was by an Imus 2, whether it was by CBS Radio or Infinity Broadcasting or whomever, all of a sudden the executives are telling them, whoa, the FCC is really, looking at everybody now, not just again, whoever was carrying the Super Bowl that year. They're looking at everybody, so we need to tighten up. It was weird, the chilling effect that it had on talk radio, which had nothing to do with what happened at the Super Bowl.
We were coming out of the Reagan era.
Well, no, or
not Reagan. Gore.
Well, no, that was you're thinking of the 80s, Tipper Gore and the PMRC.
Thank you.
No, this. I don't know why. I don't know why this happened when it did. It was just strange. I mean, it's one thing for people to be concerned. And look, I do understand. I don't have any kids, but I understand if you're sitting there with your kid and all of a sudden you see this and, you got to explain it. And I don't know. But
I'll tell you what, when my kid was young, I was more worried about him seeing somebody's head get chopped off.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Violence. Like nobody.
But it's all about how you teach your kids.
Nobody ever worries about, their kids being exposed to violence constantly.
But I worked in medicine, so yeah. I believed in teaching anatomy.
But the way it affected the radio industry was very, very strange. And, because that was the era, especially the early to mid 2000s or even into the late 2000s. But I mean, that was kind of the era of the shock jock, which has now become sort of an arcane and outdated term. And shock jocks are kind of considered dinosaurs now. But it really kind of shut down the shock jocks all of a sudden. This moral panic over what happened at the Super Bowl that affected things not related to the Super Bowl halftime show. It was very, very strange.